Vaccine come, I take sure, no problem. And I ask my friend also take because this is need to all men to save.
In November, news emerged that vaccines from Pfizer-BioNTech, Moderna, and AstraZeneca had shown promising late-stage trial results and may potentially be available by early to mid-2021. If successful, this would be a landmark achievement in the field of vaccine development in terms of both scale and speed.
So in the phase 1 clinical trial that involve our vaccine, we will look at the immunity against the vaccine, although the primary objective is still safety. The number of volunteers or subjects that we enroll is a small number, not more than tens of volunteers, usually fewer than 100. Phase 2 is fairly similar. We are still looking primarily at safety. We will also look at the immune response to the vaccine. But phase 2, we will involve now a larger number of volunteers, usually in the hundreds. Now for phase 3, the objective changes because the main focus of phase 3, having passed safety, we will need to prove that it can protect a person from developing the disease that we want to prevent. So in phase 3, we will usually require thousands of subjects, sometimes as many as tens of thousands. So for pandemic, how we have tried to compress these phases, we can combine phase 1 and 2 into one protocol so that phase 1 and 2 are done very quickly, one after another, without any break in the timeline.
As research into potential vaccine candidates continues, the need for clinical trial volunteers will increase.
Vaccine clinical trials depend a lot on healthy volunteers to step forward to participate in such trials. So healthy volunteers do play a huge role and contribute towards the development of any new vaccines.
Volunteers need to be screened to make sure they're healthy and that any existing health issues will not affect the trial. This is crucial since vaccine candidates have likely never been administered on humans before.
When we evaluate all these COVID-19 vaccines, we really focus very hard on vaccines which produce high level of effective antibodies, as well as with a good safety profile.
While these vaccines have provided many with cautious optimism, there are a number of considerations and challenges that need to be addressed.
The key challenge, I think, in this pandemic vaccine implementation is going to be vaccine hesitancy. Even in peacetime, there's a minority of people who question the safety of vaccines as well as effectiveness.
Even before the vaccine can go into clinical development to be tested in humans, there's actually a lot of effort already being done at the preclinical stage to ensure that the product is as safe as it has been proven at the laboratory stage and at the animal testing stage before it can move into clinical phase. And throughout the entire process, there is very, very strict regulatory monitoring.
Even after a vaccine candidate is deemed safe to move from preclinical to clinical stage, there are more checks that take place before it is administered to humans. Before the trial begins, regulatory approval from the Health Science Authority Singapore needs to be sought. Lastly, an ethics approval process is in place to make sure that volunteers' rights and safety are addressed.
For the vaccine against COVID-19, we have been very heartened by the response we get from the public. And I think because the pandemic has affected so many people in so many ways, no matter who we are, what we do, what we work as, people's lives have been impacted tremendously. Most people that I have personally enrolled into clinical trials generally really do it out of a sense of altruism and a sense of wanting to do something either for the community or for medicine.
In order to get the public to embrace and accept the COVID-19 vaccination so that we can achieve herd immunity quickly and return to a normal pre-pandemic lifestyle. It is important for public education to inform as well as to clarify any doubts and questions.
I can encourage the people to follow this vaccine also. Some people is the experience already, they recovered. Why not?
I think in the immediate near future, face masks will be part of our life. Unless we want to be like other cities or countries with resurgence of large numbers and repeat lockdown or circuit breaker. I think none of us wants that.